Your problems are only as big as you make them, and today we're going to do a free tarot reading focused on helping you figure out what is your problem. I'm Ross Cessna from Spiritual Phoenix Studios, and let's get it going. But before we get started with that, let us take a deep breath. So we're going to breathe in through our nose for 8 seconds, hold it for 4, and then breathe out of our mouth for 8 seconds just to get centered and get situated, right? So breathe in. Hold it. And if you feel better, drop a like, leave a comment down below. So we have 3 piles here. You can pick pile 1, 2, or 3, and we're gonna have a problem, reaction, and a solution card. So pile 1, let's go first. Problem, 10 of Swords in reverse. 10 of Swords in reverse is about endurance or comeback. Right now, the problem is you don't know if you're going to be able to bounce back or if you have the endurance to face a challenge that is ahead of you. Cool thing about, I said 10 of Swords, I meant 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is actually about accountability and reassessment. This is asking you to look at a situation and own up to it for one, and then figure out how you can move forward going ahead. This is about making shifts based upon the information presented to you. That can be a big problem for a lot of us, right? Accountability and owning up to our shit can be challenging. What is the reaction to this situation? You have 8 of Pentacles. So 8s are about change. Pentacles are about the material world. This is generally about education and engagement. This is actually even transitioning into a solution. So you've already probably done a lot of work, but when you have a problem and your reaction is to educate yourself or engage with it or work on it, that's the solution already. A lot of people will spend a lot of energy focusing on their problem, and that just digs the hole deeper. But when you focus on how to get out of the problem, that's when change happens. Good reaction. What is your solution? Meditation, right? Sometimes the way to actually move forward with the problem is to stop, clear your mind, get to a calm, centered space like we did at the beginning of this video, and then plot out a course. There's a saying that 1 minute of planning can save you 10 minutes of execution. So when you plan for situations, you're more capable of making better decisions. So the problem, again, was what was the word? Accountability, or needing to look at a situation differently. The reaction is education, and then the solution is meditate on what you've learned so you can figure out how to apply it. Incredibly practical for my number 1s. Number 2, people, what is your problem? For real, what's your problem? No. You got 9 of Wands in reverse. 9 of Wands in reverse is about exhaustion or battle depletion. This means you've been pushing too hard. This has been coming up a lot for me. Our culture really tells us to grind, to hustle, to work as hard as we physically can for as long as we can. The issue with that is unless you're resting, you're going to burn out. There's this whole saying too that recreation or taking a break and having fun. If you look at the word begin, creation, recreating yourself, allowing yourself to be reborn, to be refreshed, to be rejuvenated. So you have to take time to rest. And this is literally right where I'm at too. So it's good that I'm doing this for you because I'm getting a message too. So the problem is you need to rest because you're burnt out. The reaction is Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is largely about, I'm sorry, this is Ace of Swords in this deck. Wow. That's the hard thing about switching around decks like this, right? Ace of Swords is power, victory, and clarity. Your reaction is to try to push forth despite being exhausted, right? If you just get over this hill, you'll get the results that you want. The issue with that is life is kind of like that hill in Greek mythology of Sisyphus, where he pushes the boulder up the hill every day, rolls back, has to push it up again. There's never kind of that moment where a lot of the work falls over the other side. Things may get easier, but you always got to push. So your reaction is to work harder. Let's see what the solution is. Shadow. Shadow is actually indulging in the things that you've probably put off. And if especially if you're involved in a lot of personal development and self-help type things. Sometimes they make you think that like resting or relaxing or TV or stuff like this is the enemy. It's really not. Sometimes you need these very passive ways, but this is saying there's some part or something that you've neglected doing that you enjoy doing that can probably help you avoid some of the burnout if you just cut yourself some slack and allowed yourself to be a human. Spiritual people get really hung up on this concept of always having to be spiritual and to like live this incredibly refined and purified way, but it completely misses the point that we are human beings having a spiritual experience, and part of that experience is having some indulgences and maybe not necessarily going overboard, but allowing ourselves simple pleasures of life. So chill out, don't work so hard, quit trying to win, and have some fun. Like that's all you got to do, twos. Chill out, chill out. Okay, and then my threes. Your problem. High Priestess comes up. Problem is listening to your intuition and chilling out. Intuition is a great teacher. Sometimes though, we mistake intuition and we filter it through our trauma. So we assume that what we're perceiving or believing is incorrect. So we don't want to accept it. Or what our intuition is telling us is something that's painful for us to hear. So we don't want to believe it. So we neglect those intuitions too. Stopping, kind of like my ones, in meditating and like clearing your mind can allow you to better filter out that information. But let's see what my threes' reaction is to their issues with their intuition. They have the Page of Wands, in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse is inhibition and self-conscious. Because my threes aren't listening to their intuition, they're self-conscious, they're second-guessing themselves, and they're inhibited, and they're not taking the actions that motivate them to move forward. So, what's the solution here? What is the solution? The gift. The gift is tapping into the fact that all of us actually do have purpose. Our purpose generally is the things that we might not want to acknowledge about ourselves. Our purpose is generally the things that are uncomfortable for us to look at. Our purpose is usually the issues of life where we have the most bruises and dings, and we've kind of relegated that to subconscious, don't want to deal with it, don't want to look at it. And that gift is, and this is going to sound horrible, the gift of long suffering, because that suffering can help you create a way of powering through situations, because it can give you perspective that, hey, I've faced harder things, I can overcome this too. So for my threes, the problem is listening to your intuition. Your reaction is generally to, what's the word I'm looking for? Shirk away from it and to overthink everything. And the solution is tapping into your gift, which is you have a lot more power than you think. You just got to quit mind fucking yourself out of all of it. And with that being said, if this reading was helpful for you, please drop a like, leave a comment, and follow me on wherever you may see this. I hope that you have a blessed day, and we will chat again soon. Peace.
Hey, thanks again for checking out my channel. If you haven't already, subscribe by hitting the Phoenix down below and check out more of my videos over there.